Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video today. So today's April 2nd and we get the Castle Wars update. This is interesting. Let's take a look. Okay, so it looks like we've got a quality of life update for Castle Wars. And we're going to start this off with the Castle Wars brews. So raise your vials because Castle Wars brews just got a double shot of power. Now when you down a brew, you'll not only get the usual combat kick, but also the effects of a stamina potion and a super restore too. So that means more energy to sprint into battle and quicker recovery to keep you in the fight. That's crazy. Can you imagine if this potion existed outside of Castle Wars? They would be like 100k each more. Okay, helmets on. So hood holding you back, no more. Players can now wear helmets in Castle Wars, unlocking all those coveted armor set effects, whether you're wearing Torva or rocking that void. Oh yeah, I guess you had to wear that the cape or whatever for your team, and that's crazy. You couldn't wear set effect things, so you couldn't wear like void or Torva or whatever they were talking about, Arams. It's very nice. So that's actually cool that you can wear helmets now. So bandages, that mean business. So no more half-hearted healing. Bandages in Castle Wars now scale with your hit points level and can overheal just like the anglerfish. So that bit of extra health could be the difference between a quick retreat. Yeah, exactly. I haven't played Castle Wars in a very long time, but I remember like having to gather a lot of those bandages, just kind of spam click them because they didn't really do too much. It's cool that they do scale with your hit points level now as well. So there's some portal changes. If you love the color green, then get ready to celebrate because Guthix is taking over. Castle Wars has always been a blast, but those one-sided games, not so much. We've borrowed a little magic from Soul Wars to bring back the balance. So now, on dedicated Castle Wars worlds, you'll be entering only through the Guthix portal, ensuring that teams are more evenly matched. No more Saradomin and Zamorak portals causing team stacking. We're putting a stop to those unfair sides once and for all. So yeah, it honestly might be extremely fun to check out Castle Wars now with all of these changes. So prefer your games the old way, no worries. If you're playing on a regular world, you can still waltz through any portal and pick your side, no green pressure there. We hope these changes will make every match more competitive, more exciting, and more fun. So grab your ancients, rally your team, and get ready to battle. This time it's going to be a fair fight. Yeah, this is actually really cool because I remember back in the day for like a completionist cape or something, you needed like a crazy amount of Castle Wars played. So it was always popular back in the day, but I haven't really touched it even on old school, maybe for like an achievement diary or something like that. But it'd be very nice to just play for fun, maybe collect some of these little halos. So we've got Castle Wars bracelets. So bracelets in Castle Wars, they're great for those sweet buffs, but let's face it, they often get tossed aside at the start of the game. Well, no worry, worry no more. Lanthis has got your back and is here to save the day and your bracelets. So with this update, you can now store bracelet charges with Lanthis, keeping them safe for future battles without the hassle. You can even store noted versions at the start of each game, and one charge will automatically be used if you're not feeling it. This feature can be toggled on or off. So Lanthis won't just take your bracelets and run though. A confirmation prompt ensures you don't accidentally deposit more than intended. If you've got a handful of bracelets, the deposit X option lets you store multiple at once. Nice. So we have Castle Wars Rune Pouch update. So ready to cast spells without the headache of remembering your runes. Introducing the Rune Pouch to Castle Wars. So when you jump into Castle Wars, a Castle Wars game, you'll be handed a temporary rune pouch loaded with all the runes you need to cast your favorite spells. Forget about worrying if you pack the right runes, just hop in and start casting. Here's the catch though, this pouch won't earn you any XP for spell casting, but you will still get XP for dealing damage. So how does that work? To earn full magic XP, you will need to drop the pouch and bring your own runes. Okay, so that doesn't really matter. Like, for most people, getting the magic XP is not a big deal. So now that they can just cast the spells that they want to and not have to worry, I think that's better than getting magic XP. And yeah, then you don't need to bring your own runes either. That's so nice. So dropped your pouch or accidentally lost it in the heat of battle, no worries, you can grab another one from the table in your team's spawn area. For those who prefer their own runes, just ditch the rune pouch and you'll be back to casting with full XP rewards. If you've got both personal rune pouches and the pouch, don't sweat it. The pouch will take priority when casting, so you won't end up wasting your personal stash. I actually really like this. It's very cool that you can just have this Castle Wars version of the rune pouch and use your spells for free. I think that's so cool. Yeah, so I was going to wonder what spells can be used. So the rune pouch opens up the world of combat and utility spells across the standard, ancient, lunar, and arceus spellbooks. So here's a breakdown of the spells you can cast depending on your chosen spellbook. So the standard spells, you've obviously got the strikes, the bind, snare, entangle, Ceremonial Strike, Gothics of Claws, Flames of Zamorak, and more. Ancient magics, you've got the blood, ice, smoke, and other PvP related spells. Lunar, vengeance. I was wondering what lunar, but yeah, vengeance, of course. Spellbook swap, that one's very nice probably, and the energy transfer. And then the arceus, we've got the ghostly grasp, vile vigor, and the ward of arceus. So they also want to note that spells requiring a staff, for example, the Ceremonial Strike, and the Claws of Gothics, will still require the appropriate staff to cast. So that makes sense. Obviously, you can't just cast it without the staff requirement because it's just giving you the runes, not the actual staff. And then non-PvP utility spells like High Alchemy will remain restricted. Okay, I don't know why. I guess you don't get XP for it anyways, or full XP. So we hope this change lets you dive into Castle Wars without the hassle of packing your own runes, so you can get straight into the action while still respecting the grind and integrity of your standard magic training methods. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this because you can just use the spells you've already unlocked, right? You still need the staffs for certain ones, and you're not gaining like magic XP, so it kind of doesn't devalue magic or anything like that. It's Castle Wars again is more for fun and unlocking kind of the collection log for it anyways. So yeah, I really like it. So next they're going to be talking about more tickets and more loot. So who doesn't love a little extra loot? On dedicated Castle Wars worlds, we're boosting your rewards with an additional ticket just for participating. That's cool. So here is the new shiny reward structure. So dedicated Castle Wars worlds, so no points, draw 2 tickets. Draw with points, 3 tickets. Win, both teams scored points, 3 for the winners and 2 for the losers. And win with no lost flags, 4 for the winners and 2 for the losers. And then as you can see on the non-Castle Wars worlds, it's less points, so the same kind of thing but less points. So it makes you kind of want to always be doing this on the Castle Wars worlds so that you get the extra ticket. So on dedicated Castle Wars worlds, members will now earn plaudit alongside tickets. These plaudits can be exchanged with Lanthis for Castle Wars supply crates. So Lanthis's store has been revamped with a sleek new interface, but don't worry, the classic rewards are still available at their original prices. Okay, so this is kind of like what the interface will look like. As you can see, the Castle Wars supply crate here. So now on Members Worlds, you can also trade the planet for a supply crate. This crate requires 2 additional inventory spaces to open and contains blighted potions and food. A mixture of blood, death, soul, and nature runes. That's actually very nice. Rune arrows and javelins and lovely money. These seem like very good rewards. I don't know how many crates this guy opened, because if that's like 1 or 2 crates and you get all of that, that's pretty powerful. But I'm assuming it's more than a couple of crates in this image. So love a barricade tactic. We've also made the following tweaks. A new barricade cap on dedicated Castle Wars worlds restricts teams to 7 barricades outside and 10 inside the base. Placed barricades now have a colored rope to indicate what teams they belong to. Barricades can now be placed in front of the respawn barriers. A new element has been added to Castle Wars heads-up display, showing the number of barricades your team has placed both inside and outside of your base. So we've also made the following changes. So small walls have been added to the stairs and the ladder at the respawn point, allowing players to range over them and create more strategic barricade placements. On non-Castle Wars worlds, players within Castle Wars will be able to shove targets back to back using the Dragon Spear and Zamorak Hasta special attacks. Okay, in the wilderness and on dedicated Castle Wars worlds, players will be unable to perform consecutive shoves on the same target, so no kind of griefing or whatever. There is now a table with buckets in the supply room where the bucket spawn used to be. Fixed a bug where players' overhead yellow arrow would not disappear after depositing the flag. So yeah, some nice little quality of life changes for Castle Wars there. So rune pouch changes. So say goodbye to rune management headaches. The rune pouch UI just got a nice little quality of life upgrade with new 1, 5x and all options for withdrawing and depositing runes, making swapping them out easier than ever. So selecting all will set it back to the default left click for both actions, so no more right clicking and hunting for that one pesky option. Plus your last selection is saved even after logging out, so you won't have to set it again every time you play. So that's nice. Very nice, of course, for the quality of life for the rune pouch in general. So we've got other changes. So they fixed a bug causing the Moons of Peril to stop functioning if it was killed with burn damage. That's really funny. Fixed a bug where the auto weed setting was incorrectly appearing off when it was on and vice versa. Ever since I've unlocked auto weed, I would never shut it off, obviously. You can no longer skip one of the shortcut obstacles in the Fremennik Slayer caves by interacting with a different obstacle. That was, I guess, some glitch or something. So an optional warning has been added when using items on the Explorer's Ring to elk them. The warning can be adjusted in the main settings menu. So last week, you could, the update last week anyways, you could just use an item on the Explorer's Ring to elk it rather than having to go through all of the dialogue. And it sounds like somebody accidentally elked something really expensive because they had to make this change. So they adjusted the Chaos Fanatics AoE attack so it only affects the last player who engaged in combat. That's actually very nice. Removed unintended range blocking from the Chaos Rift and the Fallen Tree in the Wilderness to improve consistency, as they visually look like you should be able to fire projectiles over them, but previously couldn't. Selecting the Experienced option in the dialogue should set casting alchemy spells on untradeable items always triggers a warning. To enable the minimum item value needed for alchemy spells warning to 150 Okay, yeah, definitely sounds like somebody kind of messed up or maybe out something too important this week, so they had to make some changes to that. Well, if you really like Castle Wars, this is definitely a good week of updates for you. I was personally looking forward to maybe some more because in the last week they said lots more quality of life changes, and it was mostly just Castle Wars with a few quality of life things like the room pouch and whatever. But yeah, good update overall, especially if you want to, finish the Castle Wars collection log. It is one of the more fun mini games in RuneScape for sure, and it's definitely a classic one. So it's nice that they're kind of improving it to make the player experience better, and you of course get more tickets, so it will speed up your grind on finishing that collection log. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video today. I will catch you in the next one. See ya later. Oh, let me know down in the comments below if you have ever played Castle Wars or if this is going to make you now.